What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you are having a great day. And with no further ado, let's get into the weekly picks. This for week 10 now. It's crazy that we're already over halfway through the season. That's crazy to say, but yeah, this is week 10. So with no further ado, let's get into it. Starting off with tonight's game, Raiders at the Broncos. No Pat Surtain still. He's obviously gonna be out. Vegas. Obviously, no more Jacoby Myers after you traded him. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna take the Broncos at home. I mean, they've been red hot. This defense is amazing, even without the depoy Pat Surtain, and even though this offense is very inconsistent, it clearly, I don't know if there's something going on with Champagne and Bo Nix, but I feel like the offense we saw last year has not really translated to the offense this year. And yeah, moving on to the first ever Berlin, Germany game, Falcons and the Colts. And I'm going to say the Colts bounce back at home. Yeah, I think that Steelers loss was more so Pittsburgh just pulling off the upset and taking down a Colts team that had been rolling. I don't really think it was like, oh, the Colts are now gonna start to lose games and they're a bad team. Like, I don't think that. Like, I think they're going to continue to stack up the wins. I just think it was kind of like a fluky loss. Like Pittsburgh just was able to get those turnovers. Um, Sauce Gardner will help out this defense. Everybody's acting like the Colts. Like, yes, the price tag was high, but it's like Sauce Gardner is still one of the best corners in the league. So he's going to help out this defense, which at the corner position, once Charvarius Ward went down, has not been very good. And Atlanta, it's just been a slow decline the past couple of weeks. I mean, they went from pulling off an upset against Buffalo, saying, hey, we could be a for real playoff team this year, to losing three straight and all three winnable games that they just found ways to lose. And against a red hot Colts team, I don't think they win it. Moving on to the Sunday 1 o'clock games. Giants at the Bears. And I'm gonna take the Bears at home. I mean, this defense gonna be without Dio Adengbo, and we'll see if the Bears defense can maybe get back to the form they were earlier in the year, causing the turnovers, which wasn't sustainable, but it's like it felt like the defense was starting to play better. Obviously, you give up 42 points to a really good Bengals offense, but um, and I mean this Giants defense has not been what it's been advertised. I mean, the defensive line has been really good, but like the rest of the defense has been horrible. That teams are taking advantage of how bad the secondary and the linebackers are, where it's like they're easy to exploit. And I think the Bears offense continues to stride forward and get the win. Moving on, Ravens at the Vikings. This is an interesting game because Minnesota seems like they have some life now that J.J. McCarthy played his best game as a NFL player. I mean, he looked phenomenal out there against a really good Lions defense. Taking on a Ravens team that back-to-back wins, he looked phenomenal. Is this Minnesota defense going to get back to the way they were playing um last year, or is it going to be more of the same? I'm gonna take the Ravens, even though I could see Minnesota winning this game, just because they're at home off a huge division win. But it's just this defense has been very inconsistent. Like some weeks, it's shutting down offenses. Other weeks, it's giving up so many big plays and looking like it's a worse defense. So I'm going to trust this Ravens team that seems to be getting things clicking to get the win. Moving on, Jags at the Texans. A very interesting game. Houston, no CJ Stroud, so Davis Mills will be getting the start. And Jacoby Myers now in Jacksonville with Brian Thomas Jr. injured, De'Ami Brown, Travis Hunter, and Brenton Strange, you know, all going to most likely miss this game. But I'm going to take the Jags. I just don't trust this Houston offense. Even with Stroud, who the last couple of weeks had started to get things going, the offense still wasn't that great. And against the Jags defense that has been the strong suit of the team, I think they get the win, move to 6-3, and continue this playoff push. Moving on, Patriots at the Bucks, Tampa off the bye, getting healthier. Um, getting healthier with guys. Now you're getting a week off, getting some guys back, taking on a Patriots team, 6 consecutive wins. They have looked like one of the best teams in the league. But I'm gonna say Tampa Bay pulls off the upset. I know everybody's gonna say, "Oh, New England, they've been great," but they also have had a pretty easy schedule. Like outside of that Bills game, who else on that 6 game winning streak is really that great of a team? Like that, like outside of Buffalo, they haven't really played elite teams to where, it's a good quality win. And I think Tampa off the bye, Baker gonna prove that he should still be in the MVP conversation. And I think the Bucks get the win. Moving on, Saints at the Panthers. Tyler Shuck still at starter. A Panthers team coming off a huge upset against the Packers. Carolina looks, I don't want to say for real, but they look like maybe they're starting to take the right steps. And I'm going to take the Panthers at home to get the win. If Carolina wants to be taken seriously as a good franchise, they need to win these types of games where they're at home against a bad team and they get the win. And I think Carolina continues to improve this season. And, yeah. Moving on to the Browns at the Jets. No, I mean, I'm guessing Dylan Gabriel's going to be the starter. I feel like they would have announced if Shador was starting, but take it on both teams coming off the bye. The Jets trade away Sauce Gardner, trade away Quinn Williams. Taking on a Browns team that I say Cleveland gets the win. I could see New York getting the win with how well they played, but it was against the Bengals defense. Like everybody's played well against Cincinnati outside of Cleveland's offense. Just kind of surprised, but like everybody else has been, destroying that Bengals defense. And I think against a really talented Cleveland defense, they'll be able to shut down the Jets offense and they'll be able to get their third win of the year. Moving on, Buffalo at Miami. The Bills, back-to-back wins off the bye, taking on a Dolphins team. No more Jalen Phillips. Tua's still at starter. I'm gonna take the Bills on the road. Josh Allen has owned the Dolphins, whether it's in Buffalo or in Miami. And since this game is in November, like if it was earlier in the year, because that Miami Heat early in the season, September, October, it's usually hard for a team like Buffalo, especially with the sidelines, but with no real, it's not as warm as it would have been earlier in the season, and with how well the Bills have been playing, I got the Bills beating Miami. Moving on, Cardinals at the Seahawks. Jacoby Brissett to get the start. Kyler Murray, seemingly his future in Arizona is done, I guess. Because they put him on IR, and it seems like Brissett will be the starter for the foreseeable future. at least for the season. Taking on a Seahawks team, you add Rashid Shaheed. I mean, they looked amazing against Washington, and I think they keep it rolling. I think Arizona, I think that defense maybe could keep this game closer than people are projecting, but I just think with how good Seattle's defense is, and with Arizona and their offense being very inconsistent from week to week, even though under Brissett they have looked better, I'm trusting the Hawks at home to move to 7-2. Moving on, Rams at the Niners. A huge class in the NFC. I mean, San Fran looking to sweep the Rams since they beat them earlier in the year on Thursday night. But I'm gonna take the Rams and I think LA's not going to take them for granted like they might have done earlier in the year. I think even though San Fran has been very, very like they've played very, very well. I think LA, who's rolling, Stafford's looked amazing. I think the Rams try to even up that series and keep pace with Seattle, who they play next week. So if both these teams win, it would be a battle of the 7-2s. The winner would be in first place. Moving on, Lions at the Commanders. Detroit coming off a confusing loss. I mean, they were off the bye, taking on J.D. McCarthy in his third start, and you really would think that um, the Lions would have gotten the win. They didn't. Taking on a Washington team that is banged up everywhere, and I'm gonna trust the Lions on the road against a Washington team that no Jaden Daniels, no Terry McLaurin, no Marshawn Lattimore. I mean, this team is so banged up that like they're gonna be having guys out there that like most people don't even know who they are. Moving on to Sunday Night Football, Pittsburgh at LA. The Chargers now without Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt. Did trade for Trevor Penning. We'll see how much playing time he gets. Taking on a Steelers team with a huge upset win against the Colts. But I think this Chargers defense makes Pittsburgh's offense one-dimensional. I think if you force Pittsburgh to be a pass-happy team, because they're trying to run the ball, but they just are not very good at it. If you stop the run and force them to pass the ball a lot more, I think LA's defense makes plays, and I think Herbert and this offense can do just enough, and they get the win. LA Monday Night Football, Eagles at the Packers, off the bye, Philly taking on a Packers team, blew an opportunity to stay in sole possession of that top seed, especially with the Lions losing. They could have had an even bigger lead. I don't know if Philly on the road, but the Eagles off the bye against the Packers team that has been very inconsistent. I mean, they have just not been very good. I'm going to take the Eagles. To recap my picks, I have Denver tonight, Colts in the international Germany game, Chicago over the Giants, the Ravens over Minnesota, Jacksonville over Houston, Tampa over New England, Carolina over New Orleans, Cleveland over the Jets, Buffalo over Miami, Seattle over Arizona, the Rams over the Niners, the Lions over the Commanders, the Chargers over the Steelers on Sunday Night Football, and the Eagles over the Packers on Monday Night Football. But hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you guys like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified for every video I make. And I will catch you guys next week. So hope you guys have a great day and bye.